Hello, my name is Frankie and welcome to day 6 of my 7-day yoga challenge series. Today we're going to be practicing yin yoga, which is a very soft and soothing sequence. I'm settled under this beautiful tree, just nestled in here on the beach, and it feels like the perfect location to be sharing yin yoga with you because it's very quiet and peaceful here. In essence, to just give you an idea of what yin yoga is, of course we're going to experience it and get a feel for it, but the difference between yin yoga and some of the other types that I've shared with you is that it is a very passive practice. We are going to be holding the postures for a longer period of time, and we're not going to have to move so much. We're not going to have to exert a lot of effort. Most of the time we'll be on the mat and we're going to let gravity just do the work for us, and it's very much about relaxing, letting go, soothing our nervous system, just really keeping it calm and steady. When you think about yin, its opposite is yang. So yang is some of the practices I've already shared in this challenge, such as vinyasa and even hatha yoga, where you're required to be active, to be moving and breathing a lot, flowing between postures at a more vigorous pace. But yin, which is its balancing opposite, is the very soft, passive, calm, meditative type of yoga, which in a way is essential to practice in order to keep a balance for our personal yoga practices. We're going to start with a little bit of meditation, just a few minutes to ground ourselves, to arrive into our space. So sitting cross-legged in Sukhasana, make sure you're sitting up tall, just like you would for any other yoga or meditation practice. Rolling the shoulders back, placing the hands on your knees, closing the eyes, and just having a moment of silence to tune inwards. Observe what's happening within you in this moment, physically, mentally, emotionally. I'm going to ask you to place your hands on a part of your body where you feel that you could benefit from some loving care and attention. So whether that be your belly, like me, could be your heart space, could be on the ground so that you are getting the sense of grounding and connecting to the earth. Could even be anywhere along your head if you can find a way to comfortably rest your palms. Wherever that space is within your body, first just identify where you want to show some extra love, attention and energy, and then place your hands on that part of your body, feeling into the warmth of your hands, the energy coming out of your hands, and your awareness fully shifting to that part of your body to connect with it. The philosophy behind yin yoga lies in traditional Chinese medicine. And in Chinese medicine, it is said that there are energy lines going through the body called the meridians. And when we practice yin yoga, not only are we getting into these postures to find flexibility and to become calm and meditative, but we're also working with opening these meridian channels. And therefore, since there are energy lines, we are encouraging a greater energy flow through these meridians, which in return leads to a greater well-being, sense of vitality, health, and just your body generally functioning better. The meridians are connected to the different organs within our bodies, and we're going to be targeting a few of them today. We're going to be practicing postures that are beneficial for a few of the meridians and a few of the organs related to them. So you can see this as a full body energy fusion flow of yin yoga, soothing, softening, a time for self-care from within. We're going to release the hands, open the eyes, and we're going to start with our first posture. So this is going to be our butterfly forward fold. For this, you want to bring the knees out so that you create a diamond shape with the legs. You want to have the soles of your feet touching. And here you don't have to pull the legs in close to you or have them at any particular angle. Just have it in a way that you can create this diamond shape without adding any tension onto your body. You can also place a cushion underneath your sit bone. I'm on the beach, so I haven't got props with me, but for yin yoga, we generally use a lot of props to make sure that you can comfortably stay in the positions for a longer period of time. So please do go ahead and grab a cushion to bring underneath your sit bone if it's available to you. Then we're going to take the hands and we're going to just slide them underneath our shins. And we're going to place the palms on top of the feet. So here we are in our butterfly forward fold. The next thing to do is just really allow the head to drop, allow the spine to curl over, and release your upper body over the leg. You're not pulling, you're not pushing, you're simply just allowing for this posture to happen for the next 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure that you find your sweet spot. If there's any pinching, any kind of tightness that seems too uncomfortable to hold, then adjust yourself. See how you can make this work for you. You can bring the legs further away from you. You can even place a cushion underneath your belly or a prop underneath your forehead so that you can relax deeper into the shape. And that's going to also help you to ease the posture if it is a little bit too much. Wherever you are, just allow this posture to beautifully open the hips, the inner and outer hips, the groin area. We're working through the meridian channels related to our kidneys and bladder. And this is quite a powerful stretch for that, quite a powerful activation going through the legs. Just allow yourself to stay here. Breathe naturally. Exert no effort. Just let go. It's really not about how far you can go or how this posture looks, but more about finding a place where you can stay for a few minutes and really allow the stretch and the benefits of the posture to travel deeper. All we have to do is be patient and hold. Allow your breath to come intuitively to you. I always find that when it comes to yin, my exhalations feel very nice, out through the mouth. It brings the sensation of letting go, letting anything that is not serving you just exhale, release through the mouth. And with each breath, you might find yourself naturally, organically curling over the lower body a little bit more each time. But don't expect that. Don't strive for that. Strive for the experience itself. Once you're in a position, then your work is done. So just be present with the process. Beautiful work. Let's begin to very gently and slowly bring ourselves out of the shape. Taking your time to unweave the hands. Walk them back beside you, feel into those hips. Unite the knees together, bringing the soles of the feet on the ground. You can wrap your arms around the knees and just gently fold yourself over the legs. Bringing your forehead to the knee, taking a moment to rest, to reset. Beautiful. Let's move into our next posture. We're going to come into swan or pigeon pose. So for this, you want to be facing the long edge of your mat. So we're going to start with the right leg. I'm just going to come into a tabletop position. From here, we're going to bring the right knee on the inside of the right hand. And make sure that you set yourself up properly for this posture with the correct alignment, which I'll talk us through so that you're not risking any injury. We're going to hold it for a while, so you want to make sure that you're comfortable. Here, you want to make sure that the hips are in line, so you're not leaning onto one side or the other. And for this, you can place a cushion or a pad underneath the hip so that you're nicely even on both sides. Back leg is nice and straight and you're not feeling any pinching, so if there is something that's really uncomfortable here, then back out of the shape. For swan pose, you can choose to stay here and just really feel into this deep hip opening, or if you feel that you can go a bit further and let go of the upper body, then you can come into sleeping swan, bringing the arms onto the ground and resting the forehead on the hands. Another beautiful thing that might feel good for you is to bring a cushion underneath your chest and a cushion to place your head on, and that's going to really give it a very comfortable, relaxing feel, so that although we're doing quite a lot of work and opening here on the hip, at the same time, you can really encourage yourself to rest and release into it for the next 2 minutes. So with this posture, we're actually continuing to target the meridians related to the kidneys and the bladder. Continuing to open through this lower part of our bodies, the lower chakras, those energy centers related to security, grounding, stability. So just allow yourself to be calm, steady, meditative through this process. Breathe your way through any kind of mild discomfort that might arise as we go deeper into the shape. Let those breaths be full and expressive so that they help you to release, so that they help you to ease yourself into the shape. If you feel that it's a bit too much, you can always back out. But first, I encourage you to just stay with the sensation for a breath and notice what might be causing discomfort or what might be causing you to want to come out of the shape. And maybe if you can stay with that sensation for a bit longer, then just maybe you can breathe your way through it and allow yourself to go past that challenge, go past that barrier and into a deeper state of relaxation. Very slowly we'll make our way up, first coming onto the hands. Then we're just going to shift the weight onto the right hip. Bring that leg around nice and slow. You don't want to put any fast movements that will cause the body to experience any discomfort. We're going quite deep here, so you want to keep it calm and steady. And now with this left leg wrapped over the right one, we can just hold it here for a moment to even out, to reset. You can even drop your head once again to the knee and just allow yourself to process the work and to get ready for the next posture, the other side. So once again, we'll roll over the knees. And this time we're going to do swan or pigeon pose, working with the left side of our bodies, bringing the left knee forward and placing it on the inside of the left hand. Once again, the setup is the same as the other side, although this side could feel different to the other. So for each and every one of us, one side of our bodies will be more open than the other, and this can even vary day to day. So don't expect this one to feel the same. Could be more open, could be more tight. Just really allow for that, it's natural. So whichever applies to you, just work with that. Prop yourself as needed. You can bring those cushions underneath the sit bone and make sure that you are comfortable, most importantly, before going deeper. And you can stay here, just supporting yourself with the hands. Or like we did before, which I always prefer, we can come onto the forearms. And if you do have a cushion, then bring that cushion underneath your chest and allow your head to rest on it, because it does make it that much more comfortable and that much more restful to stay in the posture. Just let yourself go here. No pressure, no expectation. Allow gravity to take your weight and allow the next 2 minutes spent here to really help you to work deeper into this part of your body naturally, without exerting any effort. The essence of yin, the idea of a yin practice is to let things be, to let things flow, to not try or do, but to just allow. So really allow for this process. Yin is considered the feminine, whereas yang is considered the masculine. So here we are doing a yin practice, and you can perhaps begin to identify the feminine aspects of it. The soft and steady pace, the beauty of surrendering and letting go. And if you compare this to the yang practices that you might be used to doing or you have completed with me in other classes, then you'll notice that those practices are more about doing, more about performing. So therefore, you can relate that to the masculine. And it's important to have a balance of both within our yoga practice and also within our lives, in order to live harmoniously. We'll slowly begin to come out of the shape. Gently coming onto the hands first. Leaning over to the left hip. Bringing the right leg forward and placing it on the outside of the left leg. Holding yourself here, noticing the sensations in your body, noticing how you feel, how each side of your hip feels. Reset. Drop the knee if it feels good. Drop the head onto the knee if it feels good. Beautiful work. And then we're just going to unravel the legs and move on to the next posture. Rolling over the knees. We're going to take the knees back to the back of our mat. We're going to keep the arms out in front of us, walking the hands forward. And we're going to drop the chest to the ground, coming into Anahatasana. You can keep your chin on the ground, or you can place your forehead on the ground. Now, this is quite a deep stretch. This is quite a heart-opening stretch, and it could be a lot. So if that's the case, then bring a cushion and place it right here on the mat to rest underneath your chin, which will allow the floor to come closer to you and the back bend and the curve in the spine to lessen so that you can hold this posture for 2 minutes. If you feel any kind of tingling in the hands or the fingers, that could be because you're pinching a nerve, and we really don't want that. So if that's the sensation, then make sure you back out. And you can also just take the arms further apart. Make sure that you prop yourself correctly so that if this on its own does feel like a bit too much, then grab those cushions. You can even place one underneath your knees for softness. Rest your chin or your forehead on the ground or the cushion. And we'll stay for 2 minutes. Opening the heart, softening the heart, working through the meridians in the arms. Softening, relaxing. If your forehead is on the ground like me, this always allows the posture to be a bit more comfortable because I can press my forehead into the ground and just completely let go of my head. Here at the same time, with the forehead touching the ground, we're working with the energy center located in our pineal gland, in the space between the brows, on the forehead, the third eye center. This is responsible for connecting us to our intuition, inner wisdom, inner knowing. And our hearts, of course, are responsible for opening us up to the experience of this world from a loving, compassionate perspective. To love and compassion, giving and care towards others, and first and foremost to ourselves. So here we're connecting to our heart center, to our third eye center, working with cultivating this inner knowing, this inner love, peace and compassion, so that we may move forward, giving that to others and spreading that to the world. Slowly begin to shift your weight forward so that you're on your forearms. No quick movements. Bringing the knees closer to you. shifting your hips back to come into a child's pose. If you previously had a cushion underneath your chest, you can bring that cushion just further back so that you can place your head on it, or you can even bring it underneath your knees. Make sure that your forehead remains connected to the ground. And here we can open up the knees as wide as the mat so that we create space for the chest to also come into closer contact with the ground or with the cushion. Allow yourself to soften, to surrender. Most of us will know this posture. And this is actually a very safe, soothing posture. If ever we feel overwhelmed or stressed out or overworked, anxious, child's pose is a beautiful protective posture that will help us to tune inwards, to reconnect to ourselves, to recenter, and just breathe away any emotions related to stress, anxiety. Let it go. Beautiful. We're going to gently walk ourselves up into a seat, uniting the knees together. Sitting up, closing the eyes, resting the hands on your thighs. Just reset for a moment. Feel that opening. Check in with yourself always to reset, to recenter. Make sure that moving forward, you know if you need to go deeper or if you need to back out. Let's go into our next posture. We're going to be doing a forward fold, also known as caterpillar in Yin Yoga. So once again, you can have a prop to sit on for this one. We're just going to extend the legs in front of us. And you can place that cushion underneath your sit bone to allow the spine to be straight. Now you might be familiar with this forward fold from Vinyasa or Hatha Yoga, where we kind of pull ourselves into the fold to go deep. In Yin Yoga, you want to make sure that you are not pushing or pulling. You're just simply folding yourself over the leg and allowing the spine to curl, the head to drop, and allowing gravity to pull your weight down towards the legs without any kind of effort or any kind of active movement. Allow the head to hang heavy. And if you feel that you might not be able to stay comfortably here for the next 2 minutes, then bring a cushion or two underneath the chest, in between the chest and the thigh, and rest yourself on that cushion. You can see that it's really not about how deep you go. I could go a lot deeper if I tried, but it's not about the trying. As we mentioned earlier, it's not about the masculine, the yang. This is about the soft, the yin, where we just let ourselves go, working with gravity, working with time, longer periods of time to hold and deepen into each shape. Closing the eyes. Try to resist thinking about how it looks. Try to resist wondering if you're doing it right or wrong. You're in the shape, and if you feel the sensation traveling through the back of the legs into the lower back, then you're in the right place. Just stay there. Just let things happen from here. Feel the softening through the upper body, letting go of the head, the shoulders, the neck. Soften the muscles in your face, the jaw, the eyes, your eyebrows, your forehead. Don't hold on to any tension, but just let yourself be completely soft all over so that your body can naturally, organically stretch and lengthen itself as it feels good for it. Our bodies have this wisdom. We can simply just put ourselves in these postures and then allow the rest of the work to take place without us having to try or do. And there's beauty in that in our fast-paced world where we're constantly putting pressure on ourselves and others to perform, to achieve. There's beauty in realizing that there's a soft, there's a yin side to all of this, where we still create achievement and growth, but in a very soft, calm, steady pace, which we all need in order to find balance in our lives. Slowly just roll up. Shift your hips towards the front of the mat to create space underneath you to lay down on the mat. We're going to come into our final posture, happy baby. For this, you want to bring the knees out wide. And you want to reach the soles of your feet up to the sky and grab hold of the outer edges of the foot. Keep your tailbone grounded. Try to keep your shoulders on the ground, or at least with the pulling sensation, allow everything to drop down towards the ground. But it's important that you're not adding any extra kind of pressure. Just notice that naturally, with your hands holding onto the feet, gravity will pull them down, and allow the hips to open even deeper. We're gonna hold for 2 minutes. Close the eyes and breathe through the sensations. I know it can be intense, but when we create the right space, the right setting for ourselves, we can move through intensity with grace, with ease, and we can really observe where is our border, where is that point where you need to back out. A lot of the time we can actually breathe through a few rounds before we really reach that point. And that's going to help us to open, to release, to soften. Beautiful work. I like to come out of this one by uniting the soles of the feet and gently bringing the feet onto the ground, Knees out in that butterfly shape, just to rest, reset. And then we'll bring ourselves into our final position, Shavasana. Extending the legs, spreading them out wide, taking up your space. Extending the arms is our first option for Shavasana. Or you can bring them back to a part of your body where you feel that you could do with some extra loving care and attention, just like we did at the beginning. That part of your body might have changed now from the start through to the end. You might have worked through parts of the body that are now feeling better, and parts of the body that now feel a bit in need of this deep, relaxing Shavasana. So wherever it is, just bring your hands onto that part of your body and allow them to rest on there. Closing the eyes. This Shavasana, corpse pose, final resting position is a beautiful opportunity to reflect on the practice. Reflect on how it made you feel, how you feel now compared to the start, which parts of your body benefited from this, needed a good deep stretch and relax. How can you introduce this slow, soothing, steady pace into your life, not just through a yoga practice, but through a mindfulness practice. Bringing this yin mind space, this feminine, soft, soothing mindset into the areas of your life that need it, that need more balance between the yang and the yin, the masculine and the feminine, the doing and the allowing. Gently open the eyes. Very slowly, in a way that feels good, we're going to come into a seat. I like to bring the knees up, shift my weight over to a side, rest there for a moment. It's important how we transition out of our practice. It kind of shows how we're going to move into the rest of our day or night. If we do it slow and steady, then we really show that we are honoring, taking care of ourselves, not just in the practice, but also moving forward. Coming back into your seat. And we've come to the end of our yin practice for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you have found this practice beneficial for your body, for your mind. Perhaps you have learned a few things about yin yoga. Perhaps it was an addition to some of your practices to allow you to create a routine, ritual out of yoga, something to practice for every day. Some days it's yang, some days it's yin. And in this 7-day challenge that I'm creating and putting out for you, the aim is to give you a whole range of classes to choose from for every day so that you can incorporate yoga into your day-to-day lifestyle with ease. So thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow for our final day of the 7-day challenge. We're gonna keep it a very slow and steady pace, picking it up from here and going to practice a yoga nidra class. So I'll explain more of that tomorrow, and in that class it's going to be very relaxing. So for the final day, day 7, we're just going to take it easy, and I'm going to share with you a practice that is really beneficial for sleep and relaxation. Have a beautiful rest of your day or night, and see you in the next video. If you like my content, please consider funding me on Patreon. With your support, I'll be able to continue filming beautiful and consistent videos. There are also a lot of perks to becoming a patron, such as behind-the-scenes content, live question and answer videos with me every month where you can ask me anything, and exclusive videos tailored and sent out to my patrons every month around self-care rituals and meditations, and a lot more. If you're interested, you can take a look at my Patreon account in the link description below. Any of your help, support and contribution is highly appreciated. Hello, thanks for walking into my shop. Guys, do you mind? Yeah, just gonna stomp on my stuff? Yep, stomp all over. Alright, cool. Yeah, just stomp on it. Yep, that's fine. Yep, bye. Thanks for that. Oh, can you please let me? Oh no, don't take a whole. Ah.